Bonjour et bienvenue d'Agon-Coutainville. Êtes-vous prêt pour AquaX? So hello and welcome for the very first time to the AquaX Euro Tour, which, as you may or may not have guessed from my best attempt at the opening words there, is kicking off right here in France on the Normandy coastline. Agon-Coutainville is the backdrop this weekend for the next progression of the AquaX series that has been testing the mettle of jet ski racers since 2011. Originally a UK-based series, AquaX has gone from strength to strength with events all over the globe, and now the Euro Tour offers a chance for riders to gain a place at the 2017 World Finals to be held in Key West at the end of the year. I chatted to series founder Lisa Barsby earlier today to find out more. Lisa, great to see you here this weekend. Just tell us a little about AquaX, because it's been going for quite a few years now. 2011 was the first one, was that right?
Yes, it was, and we launched the series in the UK. Since then, we've launched a further 5 championships, this being our 6th championship. So we're now in the US, in Malaysia, and now in Europe. It's a 3-stop championship. We're starting here in Agon-Coutainville in Normandy. We're then heading over to Milford Haven in Wales, and we finalise the tour in Barcelona in October. The guys that come out on top of the championship, they'll automatically qualify for the World Championships in Key West at the end of the year. So a lot to fight for.
So that's what's at stake for the pro riders who top the podium at the end of the season. But what's it going to take for those guys to get there? Unlike other forms of closed-course jet ski racing, AquaX is an endurance event set over a course distance of around 1.6 nautical miles, with the 1-mile run to the start one of the most thrilling you'll see anywhere in motorsport. It's a combination of rider skill, fitness, a well-tuned ski, and a whole lot of grit and determination that'll see you come out on top. Starting out in AquaX is easy because you can do it with a stock ski straight off the shelf, and it's open to amateur riders. But it's the pros running here this weekend that we expect to be topping the podium, and this is the kind of machine that they'll be riding. So Joe, great to see you here in Normandy. Tell us about your season, because you've stepped up from amateur to pro.
Yeah, this is my first official race in the pro class, moving up from amateur. It's my 4th full season racing the AquaX, well, beginning of the 4th season. And yeah, things are on the change.
And it's great, isn't it? Because you've seen it from amateur to pro. Started out just with a stock ski, straight off the shelf, got racing, and now you're, on this guy.
Yeah, I mean, started off on a stock ski, completely box stock, if you like, straight out of the main dealer.
Yeah.
And now, like I say, running in the pro class, you'll add a few modifications, up the speed and up the power, basically.
Yeah, tell us about the ski that you're running now. 300 horsepower?
Yeah, it's 310 this one, Kawasaki 310R. It's a bit of a weapon, to be honest with you. It's good in the rough. It's not a proper offshore ski.
What sort of speeds do you get as a top speed on this, and like acceleration-wise, where are you at?
I mean, modified, I can get this running to about 72, 73, just over a couple of seconds, 0 to 60.
I know you've already been out to Florida last season, but what's it going to be like for you on this Euro Pro Tour this season? Competition's going to be a bit tougher, presumably.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm hoping so. Yeah, it'd be nice to try and have some good races in Europe, but I'm looking for the front, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, I think I've put pressure on anybody else on the field, so we'll just see how it goes.
Well, best of luck to Joe for the weekend, but he's not the only pro rider lining up here in Normandy. The caliber's pretty high. Tell us how long you've been racing for, Rainer.
26 years. I started in '94, the German series, and change to the other countries to Europe. It's my first time in AquaX. It's a new series with a new style. And the AquaX, we go the seaside condition. We need only a safety engine. I hope this engine is safe this weekend and I can finish the race.
Mon but cette année, c'est d'essayer de ramener un titre en aquacross.
My aim is to bring home the aquacross title and ultimately to compete in the USA as European champion.
Et c'est vrai que ça m'a donné bien envie de continuer.
Dave, great to see you here, back racing in the pro class. You've had a couple of years off. What's been going on?
Yeah, just had 4 years doing the aquacross, had a couple of years out, got married, a couple of family commitments. Yeah, come back, give the new Euro series a crack and see how I get on, really.
When we look at the colour of the water, it looks a little bit like Florida. I know you've raced in Florida before, but the waves aren't quite as big here today. But are the waves something that, you know, you relish?
Yeah, to be honest, racing in the surf, it was a brilliant experience, and yeah, I'd love to give it another go. So I'm happy if the surf gets up. Yeah.
It will be a nice weekend. The riding conditions look favourable. There's a few waves today, so it'll be fun riding with the others.
So plenty of experience down here on the sand today in Normandy, but right now it's time for the talking to stop and the racing to start. Let's head on out to the start line then and join Dave Moore.
Once again, history is being made as the P1 Aquacross phenomenon continues to spread across the globe. They'll be going in a clockwise direction. There's a lot of flat-out racing ahead with some tricky turns chucked in for good measure. The surface doesn't seem as turbulent as the waves crashing on the shoreline, but there's still a fair amount of chop, so this should be a real energy sapper. We're ready to go, and once the green flag is waved, we're off. And away we go, on board with Biondi, who's not the quickest to react, but this, of course, is a marathon, not a sprint. Well, there's an indication of conditions, plenty of air from the competitors as they power their way around the course. This is going to be a very exhausting race. The view from Jordan Lambert as the horizon bobs up and down. The Frenchman's an experienced racer, has really been looking forward to taking part this weekend in what is a very beautiful part of his homeland. It certainly appears choppier the closer to the shore they are. Lambert will have some company soon in the shape of Joe Harvey. The Brit is powering past his French rival. He's taking the long way around, but using every available ounce of power. This is the view from Sebastian Biondi, and I don't think the Yamaha is performing as he would have hoped. Joe Harvey slicing through the waves. Time in the air isn't good, and he's keeping it as flat as he can. So Harvey setting the pace. A replay of the start. Dave Huddleston back in Aquacross, using his forefinger to power away, just letting off momentarily, but otherwise pinned to the bar. Joe Harvey continues to pick them off. He's found a rhythm he's comfortable with, and he's making light work of the conditions. A little bit of air. Coming toward us next is Lambert. He needs to keep as flat in the water as he can, but that's tough when you lift as you open the throttle. Dave Huddleston has settled nicely back into Aquacross following his short time away from the sport. Oh, and he's off! A reminder for him of what can go wrong. Rainer Eidner, the German rider, splashing his way through the Atlantic surf, representing Vismara Team Serbia. Still looking strong and making relatively light work of the conditions, but was really hoping to be higher up the leaderboard. Well, Joe Harvey has really thrown down the gauntlet today. He has set the standard for others to attain. The checkered flag is waiting to greet Joe Harvey. It's the perfect start for him, and his name will be recorded as the first ever winner of an Aquacross Euro Pro Tour race. He's dealt with the conditions better than anyone else, and at speed too. A well-deserved race win. This is how it finishes, with Lambert in second, ahead of Huddleston, with Biondi fourth and Eidner fifth. However, top spot belongs to Joe Harvey.
So, Joe, fantastic win for you there. You must be thrilled. First race of the season, first race of the Euro Tour, and it was dominant.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it out there, to be honest with you. It's lovely conditions, a bit choppy and a bit windy, so it really separated the faster riders, to be honest with you. But yeah, feeling really confident. First race, first win.
2 races tomorrow, you feeling fit?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the weather stays like this, hopefully the wind stays up, and same again tomorrow, yeah.
So congratulations to Joe Harvey, taking in the opening win of the season here in Normandy. Sets his Euro Tour hopes off to a great start, and excitingly, we're back to do it all again tomorrow, twice. Welcome back to Agon-Coutainville here on the glorious Normandy coastline for the 2017 Aquacross Euro Tour. It's a tour that sees pro jet ski riders battling it out here in France, the UK and Spain, and they're all competing for a spot at the World Finals in Key West at the end of the year. And yesterday it was UK rider number 64, Joe Harvey, who made the best of it in testing conditions. Well, that was yesterday, but what of today? And how did some of the more experienced riders find it for the first time out in 2017? So, Dave, bit of an off for you yesterday. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I just got a bit trigger happy the first couple of laps. Adrenaline got the better of me. A little mistake just on the second lap, I think it was. Managed to get back on there. Got a good pace, I felt, throughout the rest of the race. Get back up in third, I believe it was. Yeah, I was happy with the pace overall. It was just that one mistake got me, really.
You managed to keep your fitness up. It's a long race, 30 minutes.
It is, yeah. I was feeling it towards the end, to be honest. But yeah, I felt pretty good. Like I said, I had a good pace, and I'm hoping I can make a bit better today than I did yesterday.
Reiner, great to see you here this morning. Tell us about yesterday's race. A problem with the ski?
Yes, I cannot sleep. I can complete night. I'm thinking what's happened to the ski. Something electro problem, something stopped the engine, something running, something not. And now I find a small problem. I hope this is okay. This is a technical sport. What can we do? We hope the best. I push full today. I'm coming from the last place, so I can some point pass. I need a good result for this day.
Absolutely, and as we sit here on the sand today, we look out to sea. It looks a bit flatter. So is it going to be a faster race?
Yes, sure, faster race.
Well, it's almost time for the first race here on day 2 in Normandy, and yesterday, under choppy conditions, it was Joe Harvey who made the best of it on his Cowie. But today, well, it's a little bit flatter, and it might favour the speed of this here Yamaha of Sebastian Biondi. So let's head on out to the start line and join Dave Moore to find out.
Some of the riders have experienced their first taste of P1 Aquacross. The British pair of Dave Huddleston and Joe Harvey, of course, are no strangers to this type of competition. We're riding with Dave Huddleston, and with conditions better today, he's able to keep the throttle pinned and not having to let it off as he did yesterday. That goes for all of them, of course. And it's Harvey closest to the camera, with the slight edge perhaps over Lambert just to his right. Rainer Eidner is third, so a good start too for the German. If anything, it looks like Lambert has his nose in front. However, Harvey does have the inside line into the turn. riding with Eidner, who's chasing hard and trying not to let go of the two men in front of him. Lambert has pulled a gap over Harvey, but can the Frenchman keep this pace up over race distance? We're on board with Harvey, who looks to be gaining on Lambert. There is the Frenchman, so we have a new race leader. Harvey has played it to perfection. Joe Harvey looks to have paced himself just right, and perhaps Lambert pushed too hard to begin with and found he couldn't keep that kind of speed so high for so long. It looks like being a tactic that just hasn't worked. Let's check out the start again, riding with Biondi, who once more is left behind somewhat and has a lot of spray to contend with as the rest of the field blast away. Joe Harvey carrying on where he left off and showing it's not just speed but also stamina that wins AquaX races. Lambert appears to be tiring as Eidner now slots into second at the Frenchman's expense. So Eidner up to second, but he will do well to catch Harvey. That looks like Nick Brockbanks. He's contesting the 250 amateur class. Lambert took second place yesterday, but may just have to settle for third on this occasion. Riding with Sébastien Biondi. He lives in the south of France, near Marseille, so even though he's French, he too has travelled a long way to be here. 70 is Dave Huddleston, currently holding fourth place, which is one position down on what he achieved yesterday. So it will be victoire again in France for Joe Harvey as he makes his way to the checkered flag. Once he had his nose in front, there was no looking back. Biondi takes fifth behind Huddleston, with Lambert in third and Eidner second. Much happier with his performance today, while once again, there's no stopping Harvey. So that's 2 wins out of 2 for the Englishman. Can anyone stop him, or will he make it a hat-trick of victories?
It's not just the pro riders running this weekend. The Sprint Series features smaller runabout skis and the super agile stand-ups.
We've got the sprint class running. That's for the single-seaters and the original type jet skis. It's a really cheap option to get into the sport. It also attracts the young riders. It gives them a really good base to start from, and it can be really exciting because it's very, very physical.
All right, so for the final one of the weekend here in Normandy, let's see if Joe Harvey can make it 3 from 3 as we join your race commentator, Dave Moore.
For the third and final time this weekend, the P1 AquaX Euro Pro Tour is about to rip up the waves. Once they see the green flag, they will be racing. Conditions are still slight, nowhere near as choppy as they were 24 hours earlier. It's on with the power, and away we go. So it's the long charge down towards the first turn. In race 1, Jordan Lambert couldn't keep up with Joe Harvey. In race 2, he stormed into the lead but couldn't maintain his momentum. What will his tactics be in this one? It looks like he's pushing hard from the off once again. Dave Huddleston is steady away on his return to competitive racing. How satisfied will he be with his performance following such a lengthy layoff? So it's Lambert from Eidner with Harvey in third, but a long, long way to go, of course. Harvey didn't take the whole shot in Moto 2, but came good. And don't be surprised to see that again in this one. He won't be panicking just yet. Lambert looks to be 2 to 3 seconds ahead of Eidner, who's a couple of seconds ahead of Harvey. Lambert will be enjoying clear water ahead of him. And also that he's chucking spray in the face of his German and English rivals. This is the view from Sébastien Biondi. What will he have made of his introduction this weekend to P1 AquaX? Well, Rainer Eidner's Race 1 issues look to be well and truly behind him. After a disappointing opening moto, he looks to have his Sea-Doo running much better. And just as he did earlier today, he's holding second place on the leaderboard. Still no change in the top three, but a suggestion the gap between first and second has widened. So it's still France leading Germany, with England in third. Joe Harvey is yet to make his move, but energy conservation is important in aquacross, and I guess that's what we're seeing here. Having been passed by Eidner, Lambert is now dropping back into the clutches of Harvey. So are we on for a change in second position? Having led for so long, Lambert is now in third, and it just looks like a simple case of being tired. Into the picture comes Dave Huddleston. He's holding fourth place. Down in fifth is Sébastien Biondi. There is the Frenchman, and his body language suggests he's finding it tough. The last lap flag is waved. Here comes Harvey. He's challenging Eidner, who goes tight, but Harvey carrying lots of corner speed, and he takes the lead. So Harvey leads with Eidner back to second, and this man Lambert now in fourth. He left it until the last minute, but timed his race to perfection, and Joe Harvey takes the checkered flag for the third time here in Normandy. A stunning all-round performance. Biondi is fifth, with early race leader Lambert eventually taking fourth. Huddleston third for the second time this weekend, with Eidner second, and Harvey unstoppable. This is how the championship looks going into the next round, and it's Joe Harvey already looking in an unassailable position at the top.
Joe, fantastic first weekend for you here in Normandy, and what a last race. Tell us about that last lap. You were chasing Eidner down.
Yeah, I mean, the last, to be honest with you, it was really flat, super flat, and obviously I was chasing hard on me. I was third onto the whole shot. The gap was getting smaller and smaller. Last half of the lap, I just pipped him. Yeah. And yeah, that was it.
Fantastic, was it? And it's 3 from 3 for you on the weekend. Yeah. You're stoked.
Yeah, 3 races, 3 wins. Yeah, can't do any better.
Well, a fantastic final race there for Joe Harvey, just nicking it on the last lap, kicking off his Euro Tour hopes in grand style. From here, we move to South Wales and Milford Haven, and we'd love it if you could join us there. But for now, from all of us here in Normandy, see ya.